You have never seen these two Boise suburbs compared. You have Star, Idaho in the north and Kuna in the south, both some of the fastest growing small towns in the Boise area, and it can be difficult to decide which one would be better fit for you despite some of the major differences. Star and Kuna are both small towns with a very small town feel. The biggest difference is going to be the location and the things to do, which we're going to find out about throughout this video. First, let's take a look at the housing options. Kuna is going to be significantly cheaper at about $420,000 average home value, and in Star it's going to be about $550,000. The reason for this, the big one, is that Star has the Boise River that runs through it. Star is a little bit more popular when it comes to retirement or higher income people because Eagle, Idaho is right next door, which has some of the highest median income in the valley. Star has the foothills versus very flat landscapes in Kuna, where it's more deserty and it's really just not as pretty. I mean, Star does have beautiful foothills with homes inside those foothills and beautiful views of the mountains, but Kuna does have some great views too. You do get a really good view of the Owyhee Mountains. I didn't really realize it as much until I moved out to Kuna, and you do get the view of both mountain ranges, which is nice in Kuna, but you just can't beat some of those foothills in the Boise River in Star. Don't hesitate to reach out. I am a Boise local for my entire life and love helping people truly learn about the Boise area, so you can relocate here and feel confident or find out if Boise is even truly for you, because sometimes it just isn't. So my number's up on the screen. Shoot me a text or a call anytime. Me and my team, we love to help you guys relocate here. Your style of homes are going to be very similar. You have new developments in Kuna like Sterling Ranch, which there's a video on Sterling Ranch here if you want to know more about that. And then the subdivisions up and down Meridian Road in Kuna are very similar style homes. They're nice, new, good builders. And Star is the exact same way, with a lot of new stuff around Star, and towards Eagle, there's a lot of new developments there. Both have a ton of options for homes on land, but the ones in Star are in the foothills like I mentioned. But again, it's just much more expensive, and the difference between the two, and when it comes to all of the other things that come with living in a house, are not that much different. So you just need to decide if the foothills and the river and having that prestige of living next to Eagle is really worth it for you. Now, the difference in those foothills and landscapes comes down to the location. Star is in the north, out by the foothills and river. Kuna is in the south, near the Snake River. Very flat farmland out here, and it feels more deserty, but does have the Indian Creek walking area, so it's kind of what I call the Walmart version of the Boise River. It is a nice place to go and walk. Me and my wife just were there the other day, but it's not going to be the Boise River Greenbelt or Boise's River Park in Star. Your commutes are going to be fairly similar, although Kuna does have Meridian Road, so it makes it a little bit easier to get into Meridian, get into Boise. You're closer to the interstate and the bulk of what there is to do in the valley, versus Star, which has more construction and traffic right now, and you do have more of a windy road to get back into Meridian or the interstate instead of just one straight route right to the interstate. It makes it a little bit harder, and you have to deal with a little bit more traffic. This leads me into the things to do in each of these. So Kuna is going to have more to do. Kuna has Enrique's, which is a really good Mexican restaurant, a little bit more upscale. There's Ridley's here, Wendy's, Albertsons, Carl's Jr. There's plenty of restaurants. And then we have D&B Supply. There's a Buy Mart. Star has Albertsons and Ridley's, which the Albertsons in Star is a lot newer. Star also has a Buy Mart. So as far as the grocery stores goes, it's very, very similar. The difference being that Kuna does have a little bit more options when it comes to some of your restaurants or fast food that Star just doesn't have. And then of course the Boise River, that's something to do. But the difference there is that I do think Kuna is closer to Meridian. You're only about a 10-minute drive into Meridian, the Roaring Springs Water Park, Walmart, there's a Lowe's. I run there all the time to run errands, so you do have that a little bit up in Kuna. The other thing is Kuna is almost twice the size, which is not a huge difference because Kuna is 26,000 people and Star is 13,000 people. Where that can differ is Star is surrounded by Middleton and Eagle, so you have two other major suburbs in the Boise area. And both of them are still fast growing. The big difference is the commercial growth in Kuna. So Kuna is about to get Facebook, or Meta as they call it now, and they're putting a huge data center out here, which is going to bring a lot of new jobs. It's going to make Kuna grow a lot faster, but it is going to hopefully help some of the tax burden. We'll see. It's supposed to take a big commercial chunk of taxes, which will lower the residential. So that could be a plus, as well as the growth. If you don't mind more people and a little bit faster growth that in Kuna than you might see in Star, it is a good investment opportunity as far as the home values going up in Kuna. Now Star is growing, but it's just not able to keep up with Kuna. There's a lot of families that live there, but I'd say a lot of it in Star is people retiring and wanting to get away from some of the city life in the Boise suburbs. Now, there are a few more details between these two that I can't really get into comparing both cities. It's better to decide which of these kind of piqued your interest more, and then decide here and pick which one you liked more, and then find out more details about that, the pros and cons of each of those cities.